All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm thinking it's 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. And from what I see in the chitter chatter, let's get at her. It is a little bit chilly in that central time zone. Hey, we've got someone coming in from Pakistan. Hey, good to see you, Badri55. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that name, but super stoked you're here. 6 a.m. in Pakistan. And I'm going to guess, I might be making things up, but I'm going to guess you're probably having a little bit of a chill as well. It is the chilly time of year in your part of the world, my part of the world, and it looks like we've even got some chills going on in Oahu. That is Hawaii, of course, says Pacola T. I am going to scroll up to the top to see who all was here while I was all trying to get ready to be on time. And we all know that didn't happen, right? But hey, it looks like Shock is in the house. And it looks like we got Shock coming in on the YouTube side as well. Let's see here. And then Shock back on the Twitch side. Darlene coming in on the Twitch side with Rick. And then we got Felicia Nichols on the YouTube side with Lady Misty as well. Bacola T coming in, saying hello to the Statter crew. Cloudy, soggy, Oahu. It is cloudy and soggy up here too, and it's on the verge of freezing like it is in Rick's neck of the woods. All right, Darlene. And we got Kenny from the Cove coming in from Texas. All right, Mama Sean coming in for our Arizona area. And then I think I said hi to Lady Misty, but if I didn't, hey, Lady Misty, what's up? All right, now we're back to where I thought I started the thing, which is Badri 55, Badri 55, Pakistan. Yes. All right, so let's see here. Now let's keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Oh my, -3 Fahrenheit. Yes, see? I had a feeling I might have known what I was talking about. A lot of times I don't know what I'm talking about. But I had a feeling Pakistan, yeah, might be a smidge chilly right now. And thank you, Pacola T. It is a Merry Monarch Festival. I think it's the Merry Monarch Festival that never happened in 2021. Because if you remember, that was part of the 2 years that didn't really exist, right? Yeah. I know I didn't go there, but I do know that Andre gifted me this shirt, and I found it the other day because I had been wondering where did it go. Found it, so I had to turn it on. Turn it on? No, I had to put it on today because I was wearing a dirty shirt before the stream. Because let me tell you guys, hold on, hold on. Okay, that's right. We got no music. Now we've got music. Uh-oh, hold on. Now I gotta turn off my thing. Let's do this. All right, now we got our music. Thank you so much, Shock. Coming in. And it looks like Pedragi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but aloha, Mad. First time here. I am thinking it is the first time I've seen you on this chatter stream. Super stoked coming in on the YouTube side. And let's see here. It looks like Badri, oh no, is he up? Are you saying that you're sick? That sucks. That you're ill? That makes no, that's... Well, I'm glad that we can be here for you if you are ill. I'm hoping that you're feeling a little bit better or on the mend. And Mama Sean, yep. Darlene in her Wisconsin Bills had some storms roll through last night, but now supposed to be warm again, 50s, 60s. Nice, nice. And yes, Lono, for those of you who are new here, we do have a couple new people. Every single song that you hear in the background is by a gentleman named Lono. And Lono is the one who has donated his music to my stream, so I don't have to worry about copyright strikes. Lono, you can get his music for purchase at lonomusic.com. And if you don't feel like purchasing his music, you can check him out on YouTube. Just search for Lono Music on YouTube. His username on YouTube is Kaupe'epe'e, but I'll bet most of you aren't going to know how to spell that, and so it's easier to spell Lono M-U-S-C-I, wait, music, M-U-S-I-C, yes, L-O-N-O-M-U-S-I-C, Lono Music. And let's see here, Mama Sean's like, oh, I feel guilty, we're in the 70s. Nice, you're able to smoke some ribs this afternoon? Let me come on over there. And wait, I missed what Kenny from the Cove just said. Hold on. Texas wildfires are way far away from you. I had no idea that there was wildfires in Texas going on right now. Seems so weird, wildfires in February, but I'm very glad they're not near you. That is for sure. Now, let's see here. Yes, definitely enjoy the barbecue, Mama Sean. And Pacola T reassuring Mama Sean, I only feel guilty for about 10 seconds when I'm basking in 75. Yes, 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 exactly. All right, so, oh, eMusic 11 here, rushing down to 2 later tonight. Yeah, you might as well go hang out with Badri over there in Pakistan, right? You know, you're sounding like you guys are sharing some pretty similar weather. And Badri55, no, Lono is not on Spotify. His YouTube, he does have a YouTube channel. Like I said, it's Lono Music. Here, let me, I actually, okay. I just sent a message that says Kaupe'epe'e. That's how you spell Kaupe'epe'e. But if you're like, I'm not going to write that, you can also search YouTube for Lono Music. But Lono does not have his stuff for sale on Spotify, on iTunes, on any of the app stores. Basically, if you want to buy the music, you get to go directly to him, to his website, and you can download the music from there. He directly sells his music, so there's no middleman in between. And let's see here, Gina Gamba, hey, coming in. It's 57 and rainy here. She's all like feeling cozy in comparison, right? And Kenny from the Cove, it's a toasty 48. There we go. I think I'm looking at right around 42, right? Oh, no. It's a toasty 48 in my neck of the woods, as it were, right there as well. And let's see here. Yes, Rick can do all sorts of linkers and stuff for the Lono Musics. Thank you so much. And the Lono is a bit too loud. All right, we'll just adjust that accordingly. And let's see here. Yes, exactly, Gina. For winter in DC, no, that's totally, like, that's on the verge of springtime weather. In fact, on the verge of springtime weather is what we were having, enough so that the cherry blossoms were thinking about coming out. And then we had snow a couple days ago, and the flowers are not happy. The flowers are not happy. But I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you're happy to be here. So why don't we get the party started, shall we? Boop. All right, there we are. Now it's for real. Excelente, you guys. And Rick, yeah, I saw what you did there. I'm gonna listen to your wife, not you, okay? I'm gonna listen to your wife, not you. And let's see here. Oh, thank you so much. I have a perfect face symmetry. I maybe looked like a model in my 20s. You know, when I was in my 20s, models were in the era of super skinny, and I never was quite skinny, let alone super skinny. But indeed, I do appreciate, yes, my face might have looked like a model. The rest, though, not so much. And Kenny from the Cove, given the temperature, you're questioning the wisdom behind getting your hair buzzed today. I agree, Kenny, that was a bad idea, but let me just make you feel better. Every single person I know who gets their hair shaved always does, head shaved that is, always does it in February. And I don't know why, because February almost seems like the worst month in the world to get rid of the insulation on the top of your head. So you're not alone in your poor decision making. But I agree, that might have been a poor decision. And Pacola T, don't I look gorgeous for a 65-year-old? Just kidding. Well, of course you're just kidding, but you're also doing it just right, see? Because here's the deal. If you're going to lie about your age, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I will always believe this. You're going to lie about your age, you always lie up. Always. Because if I said that I was a 21-year-old, every single one of you would just be like, you have got to be kidding. You are one haggard looking 20-year-old, which for a 20-year-old, I would be a haggard looking 20-year-old. There's no two ways about that. But if I said I'm 65, suddenly it's like, well, dang, girl, you looking pretty good for 65. Actually, though, of course, as many of you know, I'm just 50. I'm just the big 5-0. So I'm right between 65 and 20. I'm in the middle. Legit middle-aged if I live to 100? Yeah, all right. We'll just call it middle-aged. That's right. But you know, hey, man, totally call me 65. It only makes me look better. I got a spring in my step for a 65-year-old. It only makes me look better. That's right. That is right. And you guys, speaking of, cold weather and stuff, Darlene, I'm not looking in the mirror as often, just saying, you turned 71 in March. All right, there you go. And, oh, Kenny, you're saying you cut yours once a month. It looks ridiculous if you wait too long. Got it. And Rick, 50s is still the summer of my life. I'm thinking it is, and in fact, it's probably the best time of summer. It's the time of summer where things are still very, very warm. The light is golden, and you don't have to worry about freezing nights yet. And let's see here. Everybody thinks you're 6 years younger. Not 5, but 6, apparently. Gina, it's caused issues, but you could totally lie younger. There you go. And, no, I definitely don't have the energy of 20s, Badri. Let me tell you right now, when it comes to like 10 o'clock at night, I don't want to go out anymore. When I was in my 20s, 10 o'clock at night is when the night just started. And Vacola T, you're Social Security eligible now. That's the goal right there. That is the goal for sure. Let's see here. Shock, you got carded until you were 37, but I'm okay with being old. Oh, for sure. I totally am okay with being old. I brag about it. I embrace it. Because here's the deal. When you're 50, you've seen some things. You've done some stuff. You know a little bit. Right? And Rick, well, maybe 50 is actually the start of autumn. I agree, but see, here is the deal. In Washington, where I'm at, the month of September is kind of the start of autumn because, since school starts, but it's also our best month. It's the sunniest month. It's not too hot, but it's not cold yet. September is the best month. So if I have to be in September, I'm okay. And Lady Misty, your husband's 53 and you're 5 years younger. All right, there you have it, Rabbit. You've seen some things. You've done some stuff as well. And speaking of seeing some things and doing some stuff, guess what I get to see tomorrow? Guess who I get to see tomorrow? I get to see James Monét. And if I'd been thinking about it, I would have pulled up. I wasn't thinking. But if I'd been thinking about it, I would have pulled up the ad for the show that's got in Tacoma tomorrow. But James Monét is coming up from Oahu to the Seattle and Portland area this weekend. He's got a gig in Tacoma tomorrow night. Then he's going to be taking the train down to Portland, Oregon, where he's going to be doing a football coach training with Nike. And then also he has a show on Saturday in Portland as well. I probably won't be catching the Portland show, but I will be catching the Tacoma show. Not only will I be catching the Tacoma show, I am going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And if anybody knows me, knows that that means I love James very much. That means that I am willing to do a lot for James, is what that means. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be picking him up at the airport, and then we will be hanging out in Burien for a little bit because I don't want to deal with the commuter traffic between Seattle and Tacoma. But then after the commuter traffic dies down, I'll be jetting him down to Tacoma. We're going to be eating some seafood. I'll be dropping him off at the hotel. And then later that night, I'll be catching his show. So I am super excited to see James. Haven't seen James since August. And so I'm very, very excited about that. And let's see here. And Badriz, you're the only one who's 20 here. Not always. We do have some young folk here who do come in, but I don't see Kayla. K-pop Kayla, and I don't see Vanilla Coke Pepsi, but we actually do. You're not necessarily the youngest, but I love that you're here because sometimes I'm too old for stuff and I need help. I don't know what the kids mean when they say the things and stuff sometimes. As much as I like to brag about being old, there's some things old people don't know, and I recognize there's a lot that I don't know anymore. I used to know everything. But now sometimes the kids do things or say things and it's like, did they just insult me? Or did they just compliment me? I don't really know. Like for once, I posted something on the interwebs and someone just responded, based. And I was like, huh. I have no idea what that means. Is he making fun of me? Is he complimenting me? Turns out it was a compliment. I had no idea. I asked him. I said, I'm old. I don't know what you mean by that. Help me understand. And luckily, he didn't do what he could have done. And you know what I'm going to do right now. You know what I'm about to throw. He did not throw the haha emotes. And now I've done something to my feed that I can't stop. And, oh, what? I don't care this. Stop it. Why can't I? There we go. Sometimes I'm not, technically smart. Yes. And Mama Sean, I miss James on the Daily Pigeon too. I will tell him hello. In fact, you guys, here, all right, hold on. Mama Sean, your mind says 35 and your body just laughs and laughs. That's so cute. And Rick, you think that you're going to actually have enough snow for a shovel this winter? Because it sounds like you might not. But, all right, so, yes. Statter awake at 6 a.m., that's dedication right there. You got it. That's what I said, man. This shows that I really do love James. I really do. And Bacola T, the drive alone down I-5 to Tacoma is a little bit of a heroic act. I totally agree with you on that. But, yes, if you guys, this is what, okay, so Gina, you want me to give him a hug for you? I will. Here's the deal, you guys. I am already of the opinion, and obviously my opinion doesn't matter in this way, but I am already of the opinion that I think that James should at least once a month go visit Andy and do the show. Now, obviously, Andy might not think that at all. And James might not have that idea at all either. But I have that idea. And if you guys agree with that idea, I'll tell him, everybody thinks so. I mean, everybody might be like 3 people, but I'll still tell him if other people think so. Everybody thinks you should eventually just sometimes go there. And Deb coming in from Kentucky, 61 years old. That is right. That is right. Mama Sean saying, yep, please. All right, we've got 2 people that are with that idea. Gina loves the idea. Mama Sean loves the idea. So far, 3 people think that. See? Everyone. And shock, exactly. Everybody does want to see James holding Kanako in his lap again. Tiny little dog, big old Samoan. Yes. And for those of you who don't know, what are we talking about? There's a comedian named James Monet who, if I'd been thinking, I would have grabbed a picture of, but I wasn't, so I didn't. And he is someone that many people on this stream are familiar with. He's a very funny comedian, James Monet, and you can find James Monet on the internet. You spell his last name M-A-N-E. And he is a big old Samoan comedian from Hawaii. And this weekend he'll not be in Hawaii. Which means this weekend he's going to be cold. Because it might snow this weekend where he's going to be. And yeah, it's going to be cold. And that's exactly right, Colty. He is the biggest comedian on the island. Literally. 6'7" and 450 pounds. Or something along those lines. 6'7", that part's for sure. And let's see here. Everyone who counts wants to see him on the pigeon. Dr. Steve just said so. Excelente. Perfect. So we've got a couple people. We've definitely got at least 4 people. Maybe even 5. I'm going to say it's 5. I'm going to lie. I'm going to add 1. That's it. Dude, we're stoked. All right. I'm so happy. And I know, Lady Misty, Kanako. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, what is this Kanako thing? Kanako is a tiny little dog. And the tiny little dog is normally very afraid of everything, but the tiny little dog loves James Monet. And so whenever James was on this one podcast that we're talking about, Kanako would come sit on his lap or at his feet, and we all loved him. And let's see here. Okay, so Darlene wants to be counted. Fantastic, fantastic. All right, so we've definitely got some things and stuff. Yeah, look him up on YouTube, and if he's not on YouTube, you know, I don't know if he is on YouTube, actually, but definitely you can Google him. He's got a bunch of different podcasts that he does. If you're into football, actually, like American-style football, not football, not the soccer, not the one with the white ball, but the one with the oval that we Americans call football. He's really into that football. So if you're into that, like there's a bunch of podcasts where him and this other guy are breaking down football stuff, but he's actually really funny too. And okay, cool. James Monet does have a YouTube channel. Excelente. Thank you so much, Shock, for bringing in that info. And, yes, Darlene, he has a lot. He's doing a lot on his social media. He's on Instagram. I know that he's doing a lot on Instagram. And and then Facebook as well. Facebook's usually where I see him. So yeah, you can definitely check him out on the social medias, etc., etc. So, let's see here. I was going to tell you guys something, but I almost forgot. So, hold on. I started to do a drop with our puppy, telling her it was time to watch Kanako, and her running to the house. She runs a lot. Ooh, that'll be funny. That'll be cute. That'll be awesome. And let's see here. Oh, really? Rick, you almost ran into James at the Honolulu airport last May when you were going back home and he was flying out. That's so funny. Well, you know, I mean, I've already said this, but hey, Pacola T and I can actually beat that coincidence, because when I was flying to Hawaii a couple years ago, the plane that landed at Honolulu that I got off of, Pacola T was at Honolulu waiting to climb onto, because she was going to Seattle, literally on the return flight of the plane that I flew to from Seattle to Oahu. And then I saw her there, and we did a video, and I looked tragic. And then she got on the plane and went to where I had just come from. So there you go. Small little world. And let's see. I have some things that I wanted to tell you guys. One of the things I want to tell you guys is I'm kind of stupid. I did something I shouldn't do. In fact, I did a whole lot of things that I shouldn't do, yet I still managed to end up having to do them. So you see, I accidentally got another job. I don't have the job yet. And I didn't even mean to get the job. I was just like, blah, 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 blah. And this lady online from Hawaii, she was in this Hawaiian group, and she was like, hey, I've got this, part-time job opportunity. You can work from home, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, we'll see what's going on. So I set up an appointment with her, and then, because this is how you guarantee to get a job. Before I even met this woman, my first email to her was talking about race. Yes, talking about racial issues. It's the best way to make sure you're going to get a job is to bring up the race before you've even met the person that's going to hire you. Yeah, but the reason why I brought up race was because I wanted to warn her, hey, I'm Howley. You found me on a Hawaiian website, but I'm not. So just so you know, when you open the Zoom meeting, I said this. I said, if when you open your Zoom meeting and you see one Howley woman sitting there, you've got the right room. That actually is me. And she responded like, I really don't know if I should laugh at this. And I responded, oh, you definitely should laugh at this. And so then she laughed. And then when she saw me, she really laughed. And she was like, no wonder you warned me. And I was like, oh yeah, you might need sunglasses from the reflection off of my skin, because normally when I'm wearing my tank tops, you guys know why. Because I'm white. I'm white. Anyway, I managed to succeed to impress her, despite the fact that I have lots of tattoos and hair. And so now I'm training to be an insurance agent, and the company that she works for is going to pay for all of my licensing. And perhaps, if all goes well, I will also get my Securities and Exchange Commission licensing, and I will continue to work for this insurance company, who I won't name because I'm not working for them yet, and I'm not allowed to name them yet till I'm licensed. But let's just say this is like the biggest heart of the financial beast that I could possibly be working and associated with. When she asked me, have you ever heard of us? I laughed and was like, I see countless forms from your company every day when I do taxes. So this pink-haired tattoo girl is going to be able to sell you insurance soon. But the problem is, you have to take the insurance test. And so what am I doing right now? And this is where the stupidity comes in. I'm studying for my insurance test during the height of the tax season, when I don't have time to run my dishwasher or my laundry, let alone study for a test. So, yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, exactly, Colty, it was paid training and they paid for my licensing. In fact, once I get my license, I will have, like, there's so many training bonuses. And then once you actually get the license, I'll actually, like, end up with, even if I don't ever do anything with my license, I'll end up with like $300 in my pocket. So, okay. Is the test tough? Hard to say, Badri. I know so little about the insurance industry at this point that yes, it will be tough for me because I haven't gone through the training. But it's a 2-hour test with 100 questions, multiple choice questions, and you get to take a couple practice tests beforehand. And you only need 75% to pass. So I'm very hopeful that I will pass. The first test that I took it without even reading any of the training, just to see if I knew enough. And I ended up getting an 86. And you only needed a 70 to pass the practice chapter test. So, you know, there's that. I think I'll be okay. The problem actually though, Badri, is I don't test well. I mean, I'm like very charismatic. I can make you think that I'm smart, but when putting pencil to paper, I don't test well. I really don't. I really don't. So there's always that as well. And Gina, any red flags? The simple fact that I'm going from one industry that I resent and despise, that is the tax industry, to another industry that I resent and despise, which is insurance. Other than that red flag, no, there's actually not. But, yeah. There is a red flag, yes, but not in the way that you're thinking. And exactly, Picolati, Statter Plan 2024, diversification for the win. And so we'll see. Like I said, even if this ends up being a big old tree that I barked up for no reason, whatever, I can say that I know what I don't want to do, and it won't cost me any money. So that's that's something. Shock. I was a little surprised you'd consider the insurance industry. Oh, shock. You don't even know the conversations I've had with myself. I'm surprised with myself. I'm surprised with myself. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm going to do with me. That's what it boils down to. And Gina, is the company legit? Oh, honey bunches, it is about as legit can get. Like, have you heard of, yeah, it's legit. It's one of the companies that basically, do you remember in 2008 when AIG failed? That insurance group, American Insurance Group, I think is what AIG stood for. When AIG failed and like the government was like, oh no, they can't fail because that will ruin our economy, which remember 2008 and that 2008, 2009 economic blip. Anyway, that company, too big to fail because the rest of our country will go under if it fails. It's one of those kind of companies. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So which is part of the reason actually why I'm doing it, because here's the deal, dude. I don't think the lady who interviewed me saw my tattoos. And I don't think she noticed my pink hair. And because it was up in a bun. And my roots need to be done, right? So, that doesn't really look like I've got pink hair, right? But I do have pink hair. And one of the requirements to get to get hired, not to get high, is to get hired is, there's no requirements to get high. One of the requirements to get hired is looking professional. And so I laughed at that. And then I realized, oh my God, my social media is going to need to be cleaned up like nobody's business. So, if you were on my Facebook post last night, for all of you who don't know this, Kenny from the Cove, I hope that you hope that I enjoy it more than you enjoyed selling insurance. I really don't know. I really don't know. But Shock, you are absolutely flipping correct. I am not worried about the commission. It would absolutely be based on need, because that is how I roll. That's because I'm not, but actually that is not how I roll, but at the same time, and yes, Mama Sean, that getting high probably was a little Freudian. I need to become that person who is all about the commission. And so I was thinking, like, if I could just create a new persona, my insurance company persona. And so last night on my Facebooks, I posted a question about what the best nickname for Elizabeth is. Because Elizabeth, for those of you who don't know, is actually my real name. And Elizabeth has about 14 quadrillion nicknames to come off of it. Now, none of those nicknames I use in my life, obviously, but I figured if I could just pull an identity out of my Elizabeth name and become that commission-hungry person, I just feel like maybe I might earn money. Because I need money, you guys. I need to replumb my house, and my fence fell down. I need money. And Bacola T, you didn't know you'd be successful at fundraising until you started doing it, so you just never know. Oh, I love those words. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Mama Sean saying you found more people identified with me with tattoos, so you just never know. And Terry, so good to see you with Katie's Aura and everybody else coming in from Terry in Scotland. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Mama Sean, I feel like, hey, Pinnell, good to see you. I feel like there is something to be said for that. And honestly, the only reason why I'm at all concerned with the tattoos and the hair is because my people that hired me are out of Utah. And Utah has a very different set of cultural norms than the Pacific Northwest, or probably even in Arizona, right? And I do think that in Seattle, my tattoos would lend me credibility with certain people. And oddly enough, some of those people are very well to do. And so I totally do think that there is something to be said for that. I'm just not sure that my people in Utah would recognize that, you know? So that's why I'm a little bit worried. And it looks like Lady Misty's heading out, so I'll see you later, Lady Misty and Mama Sean. Beth, Liz, Liza. I was thinking Liza, because I don't want Liza, but I was thinking Liza. And then, but I just don't know. And let's see here. Tell him you got permission to take the job from all three of my husbands. The woman who hired me actually knows that I'm not married, but that's really funny. Oh, see you later, Deb Case. Not Misty. Misty, stay. Deb, you go. I mean, Deb, you can stay, but I know you've got to go. So we'll see you later, Deb. And Mama Sean, yeah, Utah, right? Exactly. And Vicola T, you couldn't have imagined asking people for money, but then I discovered I was actually good at it. Although all about building relationships and keeping authentic. Right. Yeah. And that's what, and that's what I'm hoping I'll like succeed at, because if it's one thing that you may or may not know about me, I do have the gift of gab. A memo from the Department of Redundancy Department. Yes, I do have the gift of gab. So I feel like I have something going for me there. And Lizzie is an axe murderess, I know, so I don't really want that. Plus, I already have a friend named Lizzie, and her derby name was Lizzie Borden, but like skateboarding instead, because she was a skateboarder. So Lizzie's off the table. And as much as actually I love the name Betty Davis, because I really do, and if I could, I would choose that name, but I think we all know why I can't choose that name. Let's just get real. I'm not going to choose that name. And Darlene, how about just Molly, like Mama Sean says? 2 reasons. Well, one reason with an offshoot of a second. One reason, my social medias that is under Molly, I don't need an uptight insurance company looking that over. I've got some anarchy posts. I've got some take down the state posts. I really don't need one of the largest financial companies in the United States seeing how I feel about the banking industry, et cetera, et cetera. So I need to create a whole new online persona. But then also, no, I would never choose Bitsy. Never choose Bitsy. And nor would I choose Betsy for personal reasons. But also because all of my licensing has to be done with my real name, all of my everything's with this company is under the name Elizabeth. So using the name Elizabeth to create the derivative just makes more sense. The reality is I probably won't do this. And the reality is I might get capped if someone, I might get, well, not capped. That sounds killed. I don't think they'll kill me. I don't think they'll kill me. But I might get fired or let go. It's like, you don't need to work with us anymore. Wash our name out of your mouth. And so let's see here. Yeah, just Elizabeth. Yeah, and Kenny, you're asking, how about Ellie? It reminds me, honestly, it doesn't strike me as an insurance broker name. It reminds me of, well, I'll tell you what it reminds me of as soon as I can remember what it reminds me of. The Beverly Hillbillies. It reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies. I was like, God, what is that TV show named? Libby is also a nickname for Elizabeth. Yes, it is. And no one has said that yet. And yeah, Liz. I know, it's just the... Hey, Gil Soto. Exactly. Ellie Mae. That's exactly what I think of when I think of Ellie. I haven't objected to Liz yet. I just don't know. Gil Soto, just so you know what the flying fork we're talking about, we're trying to come up with a nickname for the name Elizabeth that I find acceptable, that I might want to co-opt for my own alter ego. Because I have many egos, and now I've created another one. And this one's going to be a money-hungry, business-savvy corporate whore. She's going to climb that corporate ladder, and she's going to bring home the money. Unlike my true heart that just doesn't even give a flying fork about money. I just want enough to live on. I just want enough to live on. But since I don't, I need to be all about money. Gil. Are you kidding me? You just came up with literally the first syllable of that name. No one has suggested it, and it is sophisticated, beautiful. It's almost as though it's just a letter L, but no, it's not. E-L-L-E. I really like that name, L. Right, a name you would trust with your life or your life insurance. Exactly. An L. No, I didn't refuse Beth. But the problem, it does sound corporate. And it does sound so corporate that it's like, Beth would wear khakis, and I physically and I'm unable to wear khakis. Like, it makes my skin itch. I just literally, I have a mental block with that kind of clothing. And Beth would wear khakis. I don't know if I could. Elle, on the other hand, she's a little bit glamorous. She would not wear khakis. She would wear something a little bit more avant-garde in her corporate gear. I would wear something a little more avant-garde in my corporate gear. Trust me. No khakis for me. My sister, she lives in khakis. I cannot live in khakis. Exactly, Gil. Elle sets trends. And yes, Elle is a magazine, but I guess I'm arrogant enough to think that I should have a magazine named after me, even though it's me getting named after the magazine. And then Terry, Elle Macpherson is a fantasy of yours. There we go. Shock, you'd be afraid of Elle. I think we have a winner. I think Picola T, Elle would wear black. Black slacks, black shirts, black dresses. I wear black. Gil flippin' Soto. I feel as though we have a winner here. I'm gonna sleep on it. Oh yeah, Lady Misty, Elle from Legally Blonde. No, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's Legally Blonde. But she was all like super badass. And so, yeah, no, that was the first thought that I had. I totally forgot about the magazine, actually. It was totally Legally Blonde. That was the first thought I had. Oh, Gil, you are my new best brain. Yes, Gil knows what I want. Gil knows who I should be. Yes, there we go. Hey, Mitchie Mama, good to see you. We are, Gina, what kind of job would I do on principle? If I had my druthers, I would be a shopkeeper somewhere charging a reasonable price. But I would rather, and I decided this when I was like 10 years old, I would rather sell something for a reasonable price and have to sell a lot of them than sell something overpriced and not have to sell that many. So that's what I would like to do. I'd like to be a shopkeeper, but you know, I'm not. And Michi Mama, we are trying to figure out a new name for me, and it turns out Gil Soto came up with a great new name for me, and so I have a potentially corporate job happening, and so I'm gonna pretend to be a corporate person, and I'm gonna have a whole new corporate name so I can get in the mindset, and it's L. My name's gonna be L, Elle, and that is it. And let's see here. Mama Sean, put your hair up in a French roll and wear fancy pantsuit. That's exactly it. Yes, I can do that. I have a tattoo on the back of my neck that might be exposed if my hair's up, but most of it will be covered. So yes. And Michi Mama, you wanted to either have a kennel to keep dogs or a preschool. Oh, that's cool. Yes. And you've been listening and figured it out. I know that I'm anti-corporate. I know I'm anti-corp. I know. That's why I have to create a whole new persona. I have to disassociate with myself in order to earn money, I guess is what I'm saying. And yeah, I did get a job offer. I have to get licensing done before everything's like completely, for real and legit. And so I have to go through the licensing training. And like I was saying earlier, I did the dumbest thing, which was agree to do this during the tax season. And Gina, you are totally in my head. I mean, like, I cannot, you are speaking probably the truth. But we're going to go along for the ride and see how this works out, okay? I'm not saying that your perception is off. In fact, my best guess is, Gina, your perception is keenly honed in on the reality of the situation. Make money for nothing, cats for free. Yeah, exactly. No, but the cats aren't for free. Well, the cats are for free, but the cat care sure as heck isn't it? And right, Pinnell, you want to make enough money from writing to have a house and a horse. Exactly. And, yeah, exactly. Statter doesn't burn the candle at both ends. She just burns all the candles. Exactly. I just take a handful of candles and throw them in a fire. And exactly, Bitchy Mama, you worked for Verizon and allowed you to pay off some debts. Precisely. That's the whole thing is my current job after this tax season is kind of going away. So I am in the middle of a huge economic uncertainty in the next 6 months. So I have got to do something, and I've got to start paying attention to earning money because I'm getting old and I don't got that much in retirement. I mean, I have retirement, but I don't have that much. And sure, my house is full of equity, but if I sell my house to get the equity, then I don't have a place to live. And every place I want to live, I would basically need all that equity to go buy a new house. So, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. I need more money. And God, I don't even like to hear those words coming out of my mouth. It just is not, God, it's just not my motivator, but it needs to start being my motivator. So, Trail Dust, you're not getting old. You went straight to decomposing. There you go. It sucks when you age out of being a centerfold model. Oh, honey, Picola T, I have no doubt that there's somebody who probably would pay for centerfold, but would pay to see whatever you've got, whatever I've got. OnlyFans, you would be surprised at who has OnlyFans and who makes money on OnlyFans. There's this one content creator from YouTube. Her name is Amber Lynn Reed. She is not to be confused with the porn star who also goes by Amberlynn Reid. But Amberlynn Reid from YouTube has been on YouTube longer than Amberlynn Reid, the porn star, has been around. The porn star tried to sue the YouTube creator. I don't know how that worked out. Either way, Amberlynn Reid on YouTube is like a 650-pound woman who, I don't even know what her stream is about, but she's an extremely popular YouTuber, and she has an OnlyFans page, and she's a 650-pound woman, and she is one of the top 1% earners of OnlyFans. So people are willing to pay for a lot of stuff. Even if you don't think you've got the stuff, someone thinks you've got the stuff. Panel, now you just dream of an apartment with a washer and dryer in Toronto. You need to win the lottery for that. Oh my God, dude. I've been looking at condos in Honolulu, and yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. You're living large if you have a washer and dryer in your apartment. And Kenny, chalk it up to Rule 34. I don't know what Rule 34 is. I know what Rule 303 is, but what's Rule 34? And wait, Teeter's in the house? Is Teeter here? Little ear scritches to the Teeters. And let's see here. And yeah, Mama Sean. Mama Sean, I'm scrolling up. Compartmentalized work versus life. You had to do that many years when you worked in social work. Yes, as did I. Very, 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 very difficult. And I know, Michi Mama, the food prices up in Seattle are unreal. I can't even imagine what they must be like in Hawaii. Because if you were here last week, you'd know I paid $6 for a flippin' dozen of eggs. I mean, of course, it was actually just $5.99 for a dozen of eggs, but I just rounded it up to $6 because $6 for a dozen of eggs. And they weren't even organic. I mean, come on, man. Bacola D, unless you eat beans. And I do not eat the beans. I want Zippy's chili without beans. And let's see here. Rule 34 states that exists in the physical world somewhere on the internet. Oh, that exists in the physical world somewhere on the... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know, Gil Soto, $5.99. And they weren't even organic. Now, I will say this. It was a local farm, and they are cage-free. They're not labeled organic, but I think they are sort of raised in a semi-organic-ish label. But still, oh, it was painful. It was painful. It was painful. But, Shock, she's keeping me on track. I'm 15 minutes past what we know we normally have 15 minutes ago. What do we normally have 15 minutes ago? Besides me chatting, we normally have a Lono listening break. So today, we've got a Lono listening break. Maybe. Let me see if I can find the Lono listening break. Here we go. All right. This one is a tune about a monk seal that got a little too comfortable off of the shores of Molokai and unfortunately had to be relocated to a safer spot on the islands. And I believe their final resting place, and I mean final resting place as in they're still alive, not the horrible meaning of that phrase. I think they're at the zoo or the aquarium in Honolulu. But yes, this is a song about Ho'olona, the monk seal that was well, that was the mascot of Molokai for a while. Here we go.
Ho'olona. Aoheala oe mai ka ihili molo ka inui ahina ho'i mai ka ua e pili aheala oe ho'i mai aheala oe ho'i mai molo ka inui ahina o mehana uleo aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho he puna hele ho'ailo na aua na i ke kai ma'ani ano na keiki at the wharf e aloha no ka ilio au kai e aloha no ka ilio au kai olo kai hui ahina o mehana uleo aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho Make au e hauoli ia oe e ke aloha Hoa i paani kai papau e puna hele ho'ailohona e puna hele ho'ailohona Olo kai hui ahina o mehana o kuleo aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho molo kai nui ahina o mehana o kuleo aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho please oh please bring ho'ailo na ho
All right, there we go. And during the break, someone checked in with our second Texas fella, because one of our Texas fellas is safe from them their fires. Kenny in the Cove, all good, but it looks like Gil Soto from Texas, also safe from the fires. Very, very good to hear. Cola T bragging about her 76 with passing showers. Oh, Cola T. I'm not jealous. I'm just envious. Overnight was overnight a record temperature drop in a 24-hour period. Not at all surprised, dude. That sounds like that was some crazy stuff. And let's see here. It looks like, all right, so 13 degrees in your chunk of Minnesota, says Trail Dust. Oh my goodness gracious, that just doesn't sound pleasant. And Gina, I think Kenny mentioned that the wildfires were in the Texas Panhandle, but please don't quote me. Please do not. Oh, maybe you can. Terry in Scotland is, or actually I'm going to be quoting Terry in Scotland, up north in the Panhandle. And let's see here. Lady Misty, that's right. You got a new Ohana member today, a parakeet. Yes, I saw that in the chat, but I did happen to miss just what color it was. I think I saw that it was blue, but I might be lying. So if I'm wrong, let me know. And I feel like I saw, Mama Sean, was it? Mama Sean, are you going to Hawaii soon? Is that what I thought I read somewhere? And if so, when are you going? Where are you going? What you gonna do? Tell us all about it. And Pinnell, 27, going down to 21, then up again Friday. I'm gonna assume, Pinnell, that when you say 27, you're giving us the Fahrenheits, not the Celsiuses. Because it's this time of year for the Fahrenheits of those numbers. Not the type of year, not the time of year for the Celsiuses of those numbers. And so, wow, dude. Yeah, broke that record. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Lily is the name of your parakeet. She is blue and white. All right, I did not make that up. And let's see here. Rick telling Trail Dust, if you can, yes, go look up Photo Luke and find his Sandy Beach walk posted today. Take a little walk on the beach. And let's see here. Yep, it looks like eMusic and Trail Dust sharing the misery. So let's see here. Good. Gil is safe from the wildfires as well. Looks like 8 hours away. And oh, okay. So Mama Sean, not in the next couple months at least. Got it. Okay, so you don't have set plans yet. P. Draghi, that is right. Apologies if I'm getting that name mispronounced, but you are right. I was thinking a very northern hemispheric point of view. It is the time of year for those types of degrees in Celsius when it comes to Australia. Although I don't know, man, this time of year in Australia, maybe they're looking at like 30s and 40s sometimes. It gets hot in Australia. And by the way, you guys, when I say 30 and 40, I actually mean Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And yeah, I know that when you double 40 and add 30, that's really hot. And yeah, it gets really hot in Australia sometimes. So, let's see here. Oh, pardon me, you guys. Still getting over that little sickness that I had. And, oh, Trail Dust already went to the beach. He already went to the beach, you guys. He already went to the beach. Okay, so, you guys, this has nothing to do with nothing, but I saw this picture the other day, and I just wanted to share it with you because I really thought it was a really cool picture. Boop. This is a picture of a former stretch of Highway 101 on the coast of Northern California. Now, they rerouted the highway. The highway's still like 2 lanes. But they rerouted the highway differently, and now this just remains as a trail. But look at how the forest is just taking back over. These are the redwoods, and I just thought this was an amazing picture of the kind of trees that they have up there in Northern California. Mitchie Mama, yes, it is summer in Australia, absolutely. And let's see here, what is it that Rick did? Oh, he's wrestling in his brain. And Shock, it looks like your backyard if you don't trim it every spring. Yep, there you go. And let's see here. So yeah, I just thought this was such a great picture. And so because I am who I am, and you know who I am, I have to show you these because you might be, even if you're not wondering, just in case you're wondering, you might be wondering, where is this? Well, I have a map. I have a map for that. There, the little heart is where it is. There, we're on the west coast of the United States, right at the Northern California border where the little heart is. Do you see just south of Crescent City, but north of Klamath on Highway 101 where the little heart is? Yeah, that's where the picture was taken. So, yeah, maps, because, you know, I like maps, and I honestly really sat with myself and asked, do I need a map for this? picture, is the map really necessary? Really? Does anyone not know where Northern California is? And I said, yeah, most people totally know where Northern California is, but I'm still gonna show them a map. So yeah, there's the map, and then that's where that is, right here on the map. So for those of you who are new here, I like maps. And for those of you who aren't new here, they all know that I like maps. So they just roll their eyes and go, yeah, maps, yeah, maps. And let's see here, Mitchie Mama, you heard they're trying to reconnect all the redwood forests because there's clumps of them here and there. Yeah, that is correct. I've heard that too. I don't know much about that project, but I absolutely have heard that. And Darlene, you haven't gotten to see the redwoods. You really want to see those huge, beautiful trees in real life. I'm going to make Rick go with me. Trail Dust, you thought Northern California was just a rumor. Too funny. You know, eMusic, I've walked among the Northern California redwoods. Totally awesome experience. You got to, as much as I love Washington State, and as much as I like to diss on California, and, Washington State has our fair share of very large trees as well. We have the largest cedar. We have some large spruce. We've got some really big trees, y'all. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing compares to the redwoods, y'all. Nothing compares to the redwoods in Northern California. I don't like to brag for California. California brags on its own. Doesn't need help. But give credit where credit's due. The redwoods. You guys, seriously, if you've never been near one of the West Coast variety, and it's your goal to be near one, fulfill that goal. Just fulfill that goal. I can't even. eMusic is basically coming in with the most accurate description. The redwoods are so tall you feel like a tiny ant. I can't even explain it. eMusic really is the one. And so, really for real, I so encourage you to get here. If you're not here, get down there, because they are a sight to be, a sight to be seen. And Kenny from the Cove, silly you always assume Northern California was generally north of Southern California. What do you know? That actually, hey, Cora the Capricorn, good to see you. Actually, Kenny, it's funny you should say that, and pardon me while we go back to the maps, shall we? Yes, we're going to go back to the map. You're actually, even though I know you think, oh, that's obvious, and you're right? You're actually wrong, and let me explain to you why. California is 3 parts, right? So you've got Southern California, which goes to about from San Diego to Los Angeles, maybe a smidge north. And then you've got this whole section between San Francisco and Los Angeles, which is like nothingness. And that is Central California. And quite honestly, as far as I'm concerned, San Francisco and Sacramento are actually still part of Central California. They do not believe they are. They consider themselves part of Northern California. I disagree. To me, Northern California starts at Redding, and from Redding north is Northern California. So Central California is, to me, the majority of California. and eMusic, yes, you could maybe even divide it into 4 parts at the very top, but let's just keep it to 3. And so, yes, while it seems obvious that Northern California would be above Southern California, right? No, dude, you're missing a whole batch of nothingness. And that nothingness is, it's actually where we grow most of our food in the United States, but it's also full of nothing except for agriculture. And yeah, it's Central California is a whole thing. Like Stockton, that ain't Northern California, and it sure ain't Southern California. Stockton, yeah, that's Central California. Fresno, I would say, would be Central California, actually. Maybe on the furthest edge of Southern. But yeah, there's actually a whole thing called Central California. And oh my goodness, Cora the Capricorn, your whole life until recently you thought California was under New York. Nope, totally other side of the country, my friend. Other side of the country. Sounds like I might need to get a map for you. Threaten me with a good time. Maps. And yeah, the Central Valley, that is exactly it. And dirt, grapes, olives, and Cindy Krause. And yes, Kenny, isn't the Emerald Triangle in Northern California? Yes, that would be Humboldt. Oh, I don't remember what the... yes, and the picture that I just showed you guys that I can't find now, so I'm not going to show it to you. This picture, this would be smack dab in the Emerald Triangle. Smack dab in the Emerald Triangle. Cora, your favorite book was The Atlas? Fantastic. I love it. And that's right. Mapstatter is breaking out. That is exactly it. So, okay, you guys. I just wanted to show you that really pretty picture because I thought it was super pretty. And now, another really cool picture that I want to show you. I want to show you this cool picture. It is these pictures. These pictures, Gil Soto, Sasquatch might be in the Emerald Triangle. If he's going to be anywhere, it's going to be someplace down there because those are some thick flippin' forests. That is for sure. Although actually, Gil Soto, we do have sightings of Sasquatch up here in the Pacific Northwest, and I actually know 2 people who saw Sasquatch, and these are not people who, like, they don't actually know what they saw, but what they saw was best described and could only be described as Sasquatch. And I'll get you more to that story, but right now, yes, Pacola T, this picture is a picture that is not normally taken of Seattle. As you can see, this is the Seattle skyline here. You can see the Space Needle there. But what this picture is, this one in particular, that's Lake Washington in the forefront, right? Normally when you see pictures of Seattle with water, there is that you're looking at Puget Sound. But Seattle is surrounded on both sides by water and also on both sides by mountains. So this is looking west from the east side of the lake, and you're looking west to the Olympic Mountains. The Olympic Mountains is where are on the Olympic Peninsula, and that's where the Pacific Northwest, the rainforest is. The Hoh Rainforest, the big cedars, they're over on the other side of those mountains. That is the Olympic Mountains. This is Seattle skyline facing west. And so now this is the Seattle skyline facing east. So this body of water right here, that's salt water. That other body of water, that was fresh water. This is salt water. And so if you're looking east, that's the skyline, and the clouds are hiding it, but if the clouds weren't there, you would see another mountain range just on the other side of Seattle. So no matter which direction you're looking at in Seattle, be it west or be it east, you're going to see a body of water and mountains. And you look the other direction and you'll see a body of water and then mountains. So Seattle's on a very narrow stretch of land, which is one of the reasons we have traffic problems, because there's only so many places you can build a road. And let's see here. You want to go there so bad. I'm not sure if you mean Seattle or if you mean places where Sasquatch is, but I can tell you right now, Sasquatch is not in Seattle. And Cora the Capricorn, British Airways flies directly from Heathrow to Seattle in about 10 hours. That is 1,000% true. They sure do. And Pedragi, you just love that floating bridge. I don't know how many people can cross that every day. Oh, dude, I thought you meant Seattle, Cora. Dude, I don't know how many people cross it every day, but it is a vital thoroughfare. because on the other side of the lake from Seattle is another city called Bellevue. And Bellevue is oftentimes just sort of clumped in with Seattle, the Seattle Bellevue area. But they're two different cities, very different cities. And Bellevue, though, is a huge tech center. Bellevue and Redmond are right next to each other, and that's where Nintendo is. That's where Microsoft is. A bunch of tech companies are on the east side of the lake, what we in Seattle call the east side. And so to get across that lake, between the east side and the city of Seattle, hundreds of thousands of people cross that bridge every day. And so, yeah, it is such a vital lifeline. And let's see here. Darlene, when we flew over the mountains last spring coming home from Hawaii, it was so beautiful just looking down on the mountain ranges. Yeah, you know, if you're lucky enough and the clouds part, which that's the lucky part, the views are just breathtaking. And, you know, and the thing is I have seen the mountain views from an airplane for the last, you know, almost 40 plus years of my life flying in and out of Seattle. It never gets old. It never gets ugly. It's never not breathtaking, you know? And let's see here. Oh, right on. Back in the day, you and your sister sat in a toll booth on that bridge. Awesome. And Kenny from the Cove, I don't know if you're going to be able to share Snickers with Sasquatch, because check this out. Okay, so the people that I know that claim they saw this thing, all they can say that they saw was, okay, first off, they're on this 2-lane highway in the mountains in the middle of Washington, in the Cascade Range, northern Cascade Range, very remote, not a lot of people, not a lot of traffic, not a lot of nothing. And they're driving their truck along this straightaway. And from the forest line on one side of the road, the 2-lane highway, something came out of the woods and took 3 steps to cross the entirety of the road. That's how big it was. It was on hind legs, took 3 steps to cross the road, and then disappeared into the shadows. Both of the people were like, it was as though he disappeared into thin air. It was like he unzipped the 4th dimension and slipped right into it. But they also said they couldn't comprehend what color he was because he was both blue and brown, depending upon how the light hit him. Which actually is not uncommon. A lot of birds have that phenomenon. They look blue in certain light, they look brown in other light. But basically it was a blue-brown creature on its hind legs, big enough to cross the highway in 3 strides. They have no idea what it was they saw. They're calling it Sasquatch. So, I don't know. Did they see Sasquatch? No idea. But they saw something weird. And so, yeah, Shock, your dog is black and red, depending on the light direction. My cat is like that as well. And let's see here. Rick, you just saw Mount Olympia in the early morning sunlight just when we were landing in Seattle last May. Do you mean Mount Rainier, Rick? I think you might mean Mount Rainier, because we have an Olympus Mountain. We do have an Olympus Mountain, but I don't even think I could pick Olympus Mountain out of the Olympic range. I think you mean Rainier. And yes, dude, the sunrises behind Mount Rainier are otherworldly. So if the mountain is what I'm thinking, you got a good view. And let's see here. Pinnell, supposed to be a blessing to see Sasquatch. Well, I'll tell you right now, Sasquatch didn't hurt them, so I'm going to call it a blessing, right? I mean, okay, Olympia equals Mount Rainier. Got it. And interesting, okay, Mama Sean, used to be sightings in Arlington when Dr. Steve worked at Bayliner Marine. Yeah, and Arlington is sort of the northern area. I mean, obviously they were further up into the mountains than Arlington, but that was sort of the amount north that I was referring to. And Rick, what do I know? I don't have a map. All right, fair enough. And I knew what you were talking about. I mean, I was pretty sure I knew what you're talking about. And Kenny, back in your hard drinking days, you might have dated a Sasquatch, or maybe it was a hallucination. I don't know, but you did some monumental drinking years ago. Well, do you still have the fuzz burn, the hair burn, the whisker burn? That's what it's called, whisker burn. Because if you still have the whisker burn, that might have been a Sasquatch. And let's see here, Terry or Darlene, you worked in the finance section in a private college a number of years with student tuition, financial aid. Promissory notes. Oh, wow. Yeah, you did some stuff for the bigwigs of the college. Maybe I can get a job in finance like that. And yes, exactly. I wish they would have had their dash cam on, Pedragi, because I kind of want to know what the flying fork it was that they saw. Because, I mean, even if it was let's just say it was a bear. Let's just say it was a bear, right? Because what else would it be? I mean, bears do walk on hind legs, right? I mean, they can. They don't normally. It's unusual for them to. But I've seen some pretty big bears, and I don't really think that even on hind legs, I mean, their legs aren't that long. I don't think a bear could stride 3 strides and go across 2 lanes, right? Plus the shoulders of the highway. And hey there, Clinton Calloway, just now getting in here. Well, unfortunately, my friend, we've got 4 minutes left to this stream. We normally start at 5 p.m. West Coast time and go for an hour and a half. So next time, if you want to catch this whole thing, we will be back on Sunday, 5 p.m. West Coast time, and we will have this chatter show. But that reminds me, y'all. No Statterbox at the cinema this Saturday. I have an engagement. My boss has a birthday party. I generally don't go to my boss's birthday parties, but she seems really adamant that I go to this one. So unfortunately, or fortunately, she's celebrating her birthday on Saturday, which means I'm not going to be here on Saturday. So we're not going to have a movie on Saturday. Your weekend night is free and open to do whatever you want. Next weekend, we'll probably have one, because that's usually the plan. And we might still be watching Repo Man, as was the plan for this Saturday. But if all y'all think Repo Man is going to be a no-go, come up with something else. We can do that. But until we cross that bridge, well, we're just gonna say it's Repo Man, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And yeah, Gina, I guess the universe knew. Like, don't plan anything that day. Don't hype that day. You're gonna be busy that day. Don't hype that day. So yeah, there we go. That's what's gonna happen. It'll always be next Saturday for Repo Man. Exactly. So, Pedragi, you've got a hot date at Costco then. There you go. And Shock coming in with the 2-minute warning. That's right. We've got our own language here. And 2-minute warning is what this symbol is. Let's see here. But eMusic, I will hopefully have a fun party. Quite honestly, though, sometimes I don't have a fun time at those parties. And the reason why is because my boss is a real wine person, a vinophile, you know? They're really into wine, red wine. I don't like red wine. And all of her friends are also really into wine. And so these parties sometimes end up just being a wine tasting. And it's like wine, I want vodka. And if I drink as much vodka as they drink wine, that's a problem. So, so we'll see. I'm going to bring some pamplemousse. And Gil coming in with the best. Buenas noches, El. That's it. I got to get used to it. Because my alter ego, you guys heard it first. You guys created it. thanks to the Statterbox crew, I now have an alter ego named Elle. Let's see what Elle does, shall we? I'm almost curious to find out. I'm almost hesitant to find out. I'm almost afraid to find out. But we're gonna find out. And Rick, just get the first glass of white wine and then just refill my glass with vodka. Nice. Gil, it's my alter ego. This name couldn't get any more better edder. Better ever. What the L, Molly? Oh, I like that, Terry. Terry, were you here when I don't know if you were here. See, Terry, I accidentally went and got a job in finance, and I'm not professional enough to be financial. So I'm going to create an alter ego that will allow me to be to work in the world of finance. And my alter ego is now named Elle. And, well, we'll see. We'll see. But I do enjoy your Cockney play on words there. What the hell, Molly? Of course, Molly is not really what a Cockney person would say, but whatever. All right, 1 minute past the bottom of the hour. And Mitchie Mama, have I ever drunk a pint of vodka in one night? Oh, honey. Oh, honey. No, the question is, have I drank a fifth of vodka in one night? And that answer is yes. A pint of vodka? Please. That's just a Tuesday. No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't drink vodka very often, but yes, I have drank a pint of vodka in one night. In fact, I've drank almost a fifth of vodka in one night. I was very confused the next morning. It was like, wow. There we go. Chunky gold necklace and earrings time. That is it. And Molly will look at Molly will see this in the mirror and go, what the hell is going on here? All right, you guys, we're 2 minutes past the bottom of the hour. I ignored the 2-minute warning. I guess it's now 4-minute warning. We are going to wrap things up. I will see you hopefully tomorrow on the Daily Pigeon Live with Andy Bumatai. 5 p.m. West Coast time, Twitch, YouTube, etc. Not on my channel, but on the Daily Pigeon channel or Andy Bumatai's channel. If I don't see you there, I'll see you next Sunday, 5 p.m. right here. Thank you guys so much for the fun time, and thank you for the new identity. Take care, y'all. Have a great